Both times happening. Jack's getting banned away, which is one of Cookie's best champs. And there it is. Coach Omo coming in.
You have to. You have to take that pick. It gives J-Team too much flexibility. And if you don't snatch it here, Bruce's champion pool is going to get choked out very heavily. But this just means that J-Team trades a Cocky. So it's not really a loss for them either.
Now, the biggest question is, will we see the typical Senna-Nasus infinite scaling at the bot lane, or do they go for more the aggressive route?
Yeah.
Like what they did with DY with the Galio, and, you know, the more aggressive approach, which is the set or the Gragas, just as you mentioned, Omo.
Yeah,
I feel like that fits Eason so well.
Yeah, exactly. Eason is great on the Gragas as well. That's something he played all of WCS. But Flash Wolves did look good with the Senna-Nasus combo. So it's a very real possibility we see it again. I think Widow is something we would like to have against the Singe as well. So let's see what they opt to go for. I would be curious to see if J-Team want to show a Cocky here. There we go. That makes sense. So that means Cocky Senna going on the side of Flash Wolves.
There you go. This is the champ that you were prioritizing earlier for Cherry, and they go right back to it with the second pick and a couple things open.
And they're not even changing anything. J-Team said we won with that draft, no sweat, no problem, calculated. Again, so that means they really don't have to show anything. They don't have to change anything, which is very understandable.
All right, so Senna up. We've got Corki still open. We've seen Senna-Nasus be played a lot here at the tournament. If that combo is open,
there you go.
They're going to go with Gragas. And Gragas can be played in a couple of lanes, but generally played here at the support role.
One teeny tiny fun fact though, when we look at bias performance with one team back then, is the double 80 carry configuration. Omo is sighing.
This is heartburn, Omo.
I was just going to say, I think they're going to go for the Kha'Zix again, but I don't like the Kha'Zix here. Because you look at the champions that you have to play into. Stanky Boys, it's Singe, it's Wukong, they're running around, spitting out poison at you. You might just want to go for something tanky that can run through the front lines here. I was thinking something like Olaf would be great, but instead they just double down on the Kha'Zix. I'm not fond of that one.
And they're double downing on the scaling again, so it feels like Flash Wolves has to slow this down till 15 minutes until they are ready to fight.
But I do like, even in just one champion change here with the Gragas, because Gragas is very good at buying time. You got the barrels, you got the explosive cask to be an engage or a disengage tool. Plus, you're already banking that you're going to get a tanky boy on the top side of the map for Ysera anyway. So it feels like this comp's already kind of played out. Darius getting banned away by J-Team. Let's see if they go with Garen or they continue to chunk down this pool on the top side of the map.
I think that's a very good point. I think J-Team should also opt into the Garen ban. But what's cool about J-Team's draft right now is Wukong Riven. You have the flexibility to flex one jungle, flex one Baron lane. So if they opt into Garen on the side of Flash Wolves, you can take Wukong top. But they're just going to ban it away. That makes sense too.
Yeah, I really like this adaptation, right? That's the problem when you always go up against J-Team. You don't know which champions are going to go, because Pan, Cherry, and Dawn, they flex out a lot of these champions. It's interesting to me that Flash Wolves banned out Rakan. DY set is still going to be available, and that's one of his best picks in a 2v2 lane.
Can I just say, I think Ysera only has one champion left that he can play. Jace is banned, Darius is banned, Garen is banned, Camille's banned. I think the only champion he has played before is Shen.
He played Gragas too.
Yeah, but I don't like Gragas top, though. Gragas top is kind of weak.
Never know. You never know. Oh, this opens up Varus, though, for the bottom side of J-Team.
Oh, yeah, that would be
super scary, right? It is the most oppressive lane. They're going to chunk you down. A little bit of good news for Flash Wolves, though.
Whoa, okay, what's going on here?
Okay. This still could be a Baya, or Bruce can go mid lane, carry that Lucian.
Going bot lane.
It could be Baya going bot lane. I mean, it makes sense, because we talked about one team. From year 0, they've drafted double 80 composition, so it's not going to be an issue if you do swap lanes.
Okay, so it'll be a Renekton. So the gauntlet has been thrown. Ysera needs to win early.
You think they play Draven Trash here? Or just Varus Trash?
They can, or they can poke out. They can use Varus, poke out Bruce from far away, and then that's it, basically.
Oh boy, I feel like yet again, J-Teams have all the tools they want to win this game here.
So we'll see what this last one is. Coach Omo, he's just like 3 for 3.
I mean, if you're picking Varus, you wouldn't drop it to 5.
That's true.
It has to be a Draven angle, I think. Yeah.
Oh, what a big surprise. Again, it is the 2v2. It's basically DY Barry saying, we're going to win, we're going to take you on, fight fire with Bruce and Eason. I love this so much.
And this is what you said, right? 2v2, Barry, DY. They're doubling down on it. Draven Trash is as good as it gets.
That's absolutely scary.
What I love about this for J-Team is that their game plan hasn't changed, but their game plan was we're attacking the strength of, your, of your team. And it's to shut down Bruce. Now, Bruce shut down himself in that first game. But here on Lucian, they're giving him one of his best champions and saying, come at us and we'll...
I think they just proved in the first game how dominant they were. You know, Berry and DY were so strong and they performed so well that they're just like, okay, we're going to win the lane anyway. We're confident enough that we're going to win the lane. So let's pick a champion that can dominate the lane. Let's pick a champion that can snowball really well. And interesting enough, it's actually Bruce, the one on Senna, which he has played Senna a few times. And it's actually Bayer on the Lucian.
And as we take a look at the start here, you know, a trade coming through from J-Team towards the bottom side. I feel like this is a big reason why they decided to have Bruce play the bot side still, right? They possibly could have looked at a flex between Bayer and Bruce and said, in a matchup with Barry on the Draven, I think we must have Bruce in the bot side, lest we lose it straight up. There we go.
Yeah, I think we have to see if Bruce plays a little bit more passive, because you are playing a Senna into a Draven. If you overstep once, you know, if you tumble forward, which Senna can't do, but if you walk forward like you did last game, Bruce, then you can have a Thresh and a Draven right on top of you, which a Draven does a lot of damage. And saying that, Barry's taking a lot of damage himself as well. But yeah, this lane is just all going to be about aggression. It's all going to be about DY and Barry getting the push in, getting the priority as well, which will allow Cherry to roam around the map and allow Cherry to take that advantage.
Oh, absolutely. And being able to quickly scale up gives them this opportunity to start moving the game faster in the way that they want things to, right? J-Team looking to try and contest the Scuttle Crab towards the top side. It's Flash Wolves that rotate over. Cherry misses the chance for the smite, and so it goes over to the side of Flash Wolves.
Yeah, and Ysera winning out in the top lane battle as well. So Flash Wolves getting the mid lane priority with Lucian in the mid lane, which is expected. Getting the top lane priority as well, which means Cookie takes that Scuttle Crab, and it means Cherry has to move down to the bot side now. But this is what I kind of expected. I thought Cherry was going to be going down towards the bot side anyway, because of, you know, the way that you have the pushing lane of Draven and Thresh down in the bot side, but instead trying to contest that top Scuttle. In the end, it is Cookie that wins out in the end, but I don't think it means too much. I think that Cherry will be able to just...
Is it too late for me to start by saying it's a good start for Flash Wolves? Is that too early?
You don't want to go for an Omo thing. No. You don't want to go for a caster curse like Omo.
Stuart looking out for me, making sure that I don't do an Omo thing. You're absolutely right. Thank you very much, Stuart.
You don't want to get any flame as well, do you?
No, absolutely not. That's reserved exclusively for him and his masters.
Oh, Bayer!
Very close to something there.
Yeah, Bayer trying to get the culling, and they're getting more aggression in his bot side.
That's a flash death sentence. They get to go into the bot side again. Body slam blocked the interceptor. The exhaust landing there onto Eason.
He gets the kill.
The auto tag. Barry picks up the kill. A trade back. It's a 1-for-1 in the bottom side, but J-Team with first blood on the Draven.
And look at that gold lead as well. You know, 3,000 gold now on that Draven. He flashed forward because he knew that he had the lantern there from DY to get back to safety. It was so well played by J-Team. They do trade 1-for-1 in the end, but they got a kill onto Barry, which means that he gets the gold, he gets the stacks from his passive, and it means he's going to get a huge advantage in this lane.
And we start to see across the map as well, more of J-Team starting to get some control here towards the top side. Dawn looking better. Cherry, of course, making moves around the map as well. And so we look towards this bot side now. I'm sure Barry very happy here, stacking up double BF swords. Just plenty of damage in the matchup against Bruce and Eason.
Just pure AD for Barry in the end. Just wants as much AD as possible. This will probably go into like Infinity Edge. Maybe. I'm trying to think what the other BF sword would be, to be honest. Normally you see, or maybe Storm Razor as well. Storm Razor could be the other item.
Storm Razor, yeah.
You normally like to see a little bit of physical vamp on the side of Draven, because with Draven, when you're picking up the axes, sometimes axes can go a little bit too far forward, and sometimes you can be a little bit out of position, but you know, he feels confident. He just goes double BS sword. He's like, okay, I just want as much damage as possible. I want to carry on snowballing this lane.
Oh,
and then when you see DY's flash come back up, you're going to see again, they're going to play aggressive. They're going to try and get kills, because they know the later this game goes, the harder it gets, because Bruce will be able to outscale Barry.
Especially when we have first objective spawn coming up very soon. You want to have that big power spike, right? You could go for something that scales you a little bit better, but against a scaling team, might as well take the power spike and do what does you best.
Again, they're going to get the bot lane priority as well. They're going to move up towards the objectives. They're not going to get the first tower this time like they did in the previous game, which means that they're not going to get the huge advantage that they got in the team-wide goal they got from the first tower of the game, but they still have priority in this bot side. And you can see Cherry again is prioritizing down towards his bot lane, trying to shut down Bruce. Now, Bruce is not on a hyper carry that we're used to seeing him on. He is on the center now, but he has played a few games of Senna. He has played Senna, I believe, twice at Icons. So he is a comfortable champion for him. It is something that he has played before. And it is a champion that can carry as well. You can do a lot of damage. You can definitely outplay with Senna.
And I feel like the biggest part as well is denying that from J-Team, right? Who have just been looking so comfortable.
Yep.
Of course, one of the big reasons why Flash Wolves went for the blue side in the first place. I think the analyst desk kind of addressed that as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Berry's played Senna 6 times, and the analyst desk rightly pointed out that the Senna first pick as well, and trying to catch out Ysera, but really good flash away, and Flash Wolves are just going to be able to take the Dragon. It's just a trading objectives, but to be honest, J-Team is a team that loves to take Rift Herald because they love to just try and get their lead and excel their lead as quick as possible. You can see, as soon as Cherry takes that Rift Herald, he goes straight up into Baron lane. He might not even need to drop this Rift Herald. They might just get first tower of the game without even Rift Herald. That's crazy.
Very easily, I would say, yeah, looks like a lot of the Draven damage coming into play, into effect.
And normally what happens as well is that you normally see when a team takes a Rift Herald, in this instance J-Team, they normally go up towards the Baron side of the map, and normally you see the other team go towards the bot side of the map and try and trade in towers.
Right.
But in this instance, Cookie just went back to farming, Fire just went back to farming as well, and instead J-Team just get a free tower, which it doesn't mean too much in terms of gold lead, but that's more money for Draven, and that means that Draven now has 5,500 gold, I think 1,000 more than anyone else in the entire game right now. And if this Draven could get more and more stacks, and if the Draven could get another kill as well to get the passive online, to get that money as well, to get as much gold as possible, then this Draven's going to be a very scary champion to deal with on the side of Flash Wolves.
It's been a hot minute since Barry got another kill, so the second he does, I can imagine, yeah, picking up the stacks again, cashing them in, and well, we can kind of expect what happens there. Reptile using the mid lane, J-Team looking to get some pressure down. Maybe try and force away Baya, Ysera, maybe go for a dive.
And look at this, you know, J-Team, they're playing the map so well, and even though
Ysera, I don't think he can stand there. No, definitely cannot stand there. The first kill going over, Pan quickly chasing for a second kill onto Eason, gets the flash away. Pan also hunting for a kill, but Eason flashes out, and Flash will also lose one in the mid lane.
Do you know what the crazy thing is about J-Team as well is that even though they don't have any vision on the bot side of the map, they still walk through the enemy jungle. They still feel confident enough. It's just like, okay, we don't care if you're sitting in the brush. We don't care if you're, you know, going to be trying to play defensive and try and pick us off. We're just going to walk through your jungle. We're just going to take every advantage that they can.
Catch on the Eason very quickly. The death sentence interrupts
Draven
the body
kill,
slam,
there it
and
is.
A kill coming through for Barry towards the bottom side. Flash was responding with 3 members will stop JT from picking up the turret, but you can start to see what happens here as JT pick up a lead.
The damage has been dealt already, I feel like, Grandin. You know, Draven, another kill over to him, more gold over to him, 7,500 gold now. He has 2 items already.
You asked what the 2 BM was built into.
Yep, there we go, there it is. Stormrazor Infinity Edge. He doesn't need any physical vamp at all. He feels confident enough that he doesn't need any physical vamp to keep himself alive. He just play aggressive. He has the Thresh by his side as well. He has a very tanky front line as well. He has Cherry, he has Pan, he also has Dawn as well that can help protect him, which means that Berry can just keep auto-attacking and auto-attacking. And it's such a strong position for J-Team to be in. And again, they're doing the same thing as what I mentioned as well. They're rotating around as a team. They're making sure that, you know, they use the Rift Herald mid lane, they get the mid lane tower. Then they rotate down to the bot side. They pick off Eason on the Gragas. They get a kill onto Draven. This is what I love about J-Team. They move around as a team, and they're just able to get every single little advantage that they can.
And you know, one of the big things looking towards J-Team were, compared to the other teams, J-Team likes to move together around more, right? They're more of a 5-man unit, whereas you have oftentimes star players coming through. You take a look at teams with guys like Long, you know, you take a look at guys with like 0711, Fato, everyone coming on board. And you have those star players, J-Team, not quite the same. They want to play as that 5-man unit, and they want to rotate around. As you saw on your screens right there, there was an attempt towards the bottom side. Flash will stop J-Team from getting across.
And J-Team was a team as well, you know, in the WRL, you know, at the start of the WRL season, they actually finished off first in Stage 1 in WRL. They were considered one of, if not the best team in China at the start of the year, but as the year went on, as it went into knockouts as well, you felt like that teams just kind of realized how J-Team played, and they just were able to kind of pinpoint the little things about J-Team and little weaknesses, right, and then take advantage of that. And then this J-Team now, you know, again, performing really well in group stage, performing really well, and now in knockouts, again, they're showing that maybe this time it's something a little bit different. Maybe they're not going to choke in the knockout stage.
Let's hope that's not the case, but I feel like that's a death flag there, Stuart, as a death flag arises here for Eason. He steps forward into J-Team while trying to check out for the Rift Tower. As a result, they start to have to back away. J-Team very quickly respond here by sending Flash Rolls back. The Rift Tower resets, moves its way back in the pit. Flash Rolls go into the mid lane instead.
There were so many skill shots there that were so close from hitting. You know, Dawn flashed over the wall. DY was trying to land a hook as well. If any one of them landed on the side of Flash Wolves, I feel like one of them were dead. But now it's Flash Wolves. They're grouping together, but that's a low Bruce right in the middle there, but they're trying to catch out Dawn.
Dawn hits the hourglass. They managed to find the first isolated target, trying to take it down.
Kill for
Eason to get it done. Dawn's still alive at this point. He's dancing around the backline. Plan flashes away. Barry fully online, but gets hit by the exhaust and now will not be able to output damage. The exhaust times out. Cookie flashes in, gets the fall spikes down, but J-Team quickly running away together. A 4-man unit gets away from Flash Wolves.
You know what I love as well is that somehow J-Team, you know,
Rift-Held?
J-Team still got Rift-Held from that whole situation. Exactly. I mean, I think it might have accidentally been used there. I don't think they actually wanted to use the Rift-Held there. I think it was a little bit of a misclick or something, but same time, and Cookie, actually Cherry, is he going to get Smite still?
Running into the Dragon Pit, looking for the Smite. It still goes over to Cookie, and Cookie gets to leap out of the pit and get away.
Okay, so 2 Dragons over the side of Flash Wolves. J-Team got 2 Rift Heralds. The first Rift Herald was used to break down the mid lane. This Rift Herald, not as useful. He's just going to die in mid lane, unfortunately.
If you love it, set it free.
F's
in
chat for Herald. F's in chat for Shelly. Unfortunate. But yeah, not going to be able to get any charges, not to be able to get any advantages. But again, on the side of J-Team, you know, again, it's another one of them situations where, you know, they're going to look to try and move around the map. They're trying again the same thing, you know, move around as a unit, try and catch up members of Flash Wolves. And Barry, you know, he's doing a lot of damage. He did get exhausted though. Exhaust is so broken, right? Why exhaust is?
Oh, absolutely. It's when you run 2 exhausts.
It's like Bruce used exhaust, and I think Bayer just used exhaust straight afterwards as well. It's just exhaust on top of exhaust, and then Barry just can't play the game.
Fair enough.
He just can't play the game.
I think that's the point, actually.
Or just pick exhaust. There you go. If you want to know, back at home, if you're playing solo queue and if you don't want the enemy team to play the game, just pick exhaust.
I have a suspicion here, Stuart, right? That Flash Rolls pick exhaust so they could win the game. I know it sounds crazy.
I didn't know that's what you had to do. I didn't know that's what you had to do.
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy here, but I feel like they picked exhaust to win the game. Well, another big thing about winning the game here is actually winning team fights. And it looks like J-Team will be able to win it as they go in and dive under turret, taking down Bayer. Flash Rolls play under the turret, but have no success there.
Again, the pick potential, DY with the hook, Pun with the Protovolt forward, into the flip as well. And again, J-Team, so close to Flash Hook, nearly lands from DY. But again, J-Team grouping up as 5, trying to get this lost outer tower.
Okay, Mano Frieze, I see you. It was close there, it was definitely close. DY was trying to go for something. If Cookie had walked down, you know, he was trying to, it was a prediction, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think he tried to predict the movement of Cookie. Maybe he thought that he would move backwards instead of running away.
I see you, Mano Frieze. All right, good job, DY. We'll get him next time. We'll get him next time, G.
Close but no cigar.
Let's start talking about the objective that is on the map now, the Baron Nashor. Last game we saw J-Team with amazing vision control. Flash Wolves had none. They did not have any insight on the map. This time around, a little bit closer. They get to have more vision towards the top side of the map.
Again, I mean, JT didn't even need Baron in that previous game. That was a crazy thing as well, I feel like. You know, JT, they didn't need Baron at all, but they just played around the vision, like you said, so well. They're able to get picks. And again, you know, Cherry and DY holding hands together, roaming through. And they're going to look to try and get another pick here. But look, again, Cookie's all by himself. And DY, look, missed the hook again. Maybe it's not Mano Frieze.
He didn't want it. They wanted the turret. If he hit that, then his team would have wanted to fight. It's a zoning hook. If he hits that, his team would have wanted to fight. And so he was like, I don't want to fight this, actually. How do I make it look like I'm actually...
The mind games, Brandon, the mind games.
No, J-Team is a team which has a lot of secrets that we have yet to unravel. I'm just saying, you know, do we know for a fact that is this true?
I thought about that one.
Stuart's starting to understand why all my co-casters just want to talk over me.
That's okay, Brandon. We all love you. It's fine.
Thank you.
There's no hard feelings. Maybe Omo might talk over you, but I won't. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you, Stuart. J-Team have full control on the Baron now. We're 14.5 minutes into the game, and it's still looking to be a very J-Team dominated game. Flash Wolves have had some good moments, especially in these fights. But every single one of them seems to go J-Team's way in the end.
They're going again.
Fight starts out, Pan gets the first pickup, and they take down Bruce. The scaling option for the team now taken away. Dawn starts to join in on the fight. Looks for Eason, looks for Cookie.
Beautiful
in the back line, beautiful knock-up onto Bruce. It's a second kill going over to Barry. Now the death sentence lands. A triple coming across. 4 kills going away of J-Team, running down Flash Wolves 15 minutes into the game, and onto the mid lane they go.
And it's too hard for Flash Wolves to get onto Barry. Barry got that early game advantage, and honestly, they might look to try and just end the game right now.
10 seconds onto Bruce. They have the fortification on the Nexus, but very quickly you see the power that they have, taking down the neutral objective, not the neutral objective, but the turret, the Nexus rather, and moving on to it. J-Team will get themselves a game number 2 in very strong fashion.
Again, a very, very dominating performance by J-Team, and this time it's not the center in the bot side, it's the Draven. It's the early aggression with the Draven. I think Draven in the end had like a 3,000 goal lead over anyone else on the entire map, and that's a great thing about Draven. They realize
He always does something, and Flash Wolves does not see it coming.
Short highlights here is this one was a quick early fight. See if Draven got stacks. Draven got stacks, and then the scaling was just really difficult for Flash Wolves to find any fights here, Emma.
Yeah, Draven got stacks even in a 2v3 fight. Yet again, Barry just topping the charts by quite a wide margin at that. And I feel like J-Team, like you said, clinically dismantling Flash Wolves. I feel like this comes back down to the roster. This comes back down to the draft as well. And this is why I don't really like this iteration of Flash Wolves with Baya in the mid lane and Bruce in the Dragon lane. It makes them very predictable. And you see J-Team just solve them, crack them like a code very well. You want to play around your Dragon lane entirely? Then we will just counterpick your Dragon lane. Barry and DY are such good players. They can dismantle you down there.
You know,